learn from people that are doing more than me and still have it together. I've also asked them, what are some of the strategies or tools or techniques that you use to really be able to apply balance, but still get a lot of work done, because dang, I know, brother, this community work, I mean, it's no game. Things are changing every day. The laws are being made. Where legislation is oh my goodness. I mean,
yeah.
So it's the innovation of the whole world of everything. We have to stay on top, especially if what we're trying to do is to impact the world. You know what I mean? All it takes is for us to, get off the surface for about a month or so, come back to a whole new world, and us not understand it all. So we have to stay on top.
Yes, sir. And that's one of the main major principles of mindset shiftology is becoming better every day, and that's really going out and learning as much as you possibly can each and every day. Don't waste a day. Don't take a day off. I mean, I know as a child, my grandfather always said you should learn something new every day. And as a child, it was like, okay, I go to school. Yeah, I should learn something new every day. But then I got out of school, and it's like, hold up. I'm still supposed to be learning something new every day. Ain't that what you said? Every day. And, you really have to put yourself in a position to want to grow, to want to be better. And that's where it all comes down to mindset. And, you touched on something that's really, really important as well, as far as learning from others who are doing a lot of things and are keeping it together. And, like, what's your personal view on mentorship and, finding a mentor and how to really utilize the information that they give you?
Well, you definitely want to also have a very concise approach as to how you evaluate people and how you evaluate like how much you expect someone to invest in you. So, I've always kind of moved along with the idea of if you're even going to be a leader, or if you want to be a leader or expect to be a leader, you already have to pretty much destroy the mindset that you don't want to expect more from anyone else that you wouldn't be able to put up yourself.
Yes, sir.
As a leader, you wouldn't want to put out or expect for anyone to do anything more than what you yourself would do. Granted, you be in their position and or your position as the leader. So what you need to do is you need to be able to evaluate people well. Even people that call themselves mentors, you need to be able to see what are they actively doing for others as a mentor. Granted, I don't believe that you just become a mentor overnight, and there hasn't been anyone in your lifetime that you haven't mentored, or what I mean. There hasn't been any cases that you may be able to use, for credibility purposes. Like, so you want to be able to look into whose lives have they changed, and maybe get even some feedback from that person, and or if you can, if there is some way. I know social media is big nowadays, so Dan, I can probably just keep scrolling all the way back to your Facebook like 3 years, and anybody that said they came into your life between now and then, I can say, oh, you know what? I see what they did for you. Like, I saw your life change over the 3. I see what they did. But you've also got to understand what mentoring is. You got to understand what it is that you're to receive from mentoring, and so I think it's definitely like a two-way experience. As a young person, I know it's a lot to really just be told, hey, you need a mentor, go get a mentor, and then for you to also feel like you have the perfect idea of what a mentor is. But it's like they really have to be careful, because you really want to give somebody that is truly going to invest in you unconditionally, because they truly believe in you. They won't just be a yes man for you, but they'll be somebody that actually does things that help shape you. And there's no way to shape, there's no way to shape perfection without it actually, incurring some not like damages, but you know what I mean. The success without the pain, and the diamond without the pressure, and all of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like you said, that yes man syndrome will jack you up big time. And I see that a lot with the youth, and you do a lot of work with the youth. It seems to me that a lot of those people around the youth, those who have the power to impact the youth, whether it's parents, grandparents, teachers, whoever it is, it seems like it's a lot of yes men and women in these kids' lives nowadays to just push them along and just try to appease them, but are not really helping them learn and not really helping them learn how to think, which is one main thing that I see.
Right.
And you do a lot of mentoring with the youth and you work a lot with the youth. What is it that you see that really helps to get them to start thinking on their own and start to get away from just believing what everyone else has deemed them to be or to not be, and how to really get them to believe in themselves?
I mean, that really starts with, truly who you are as well. You have to be able to get to their level. You have to be able to, whatever it may be. I'm not saying that people that are older are excluded from this possibility or from, successful mentorship or anything like that, but you've got to find something that is going to be a strong communicator to be able to relate to these children. For some people, maybe it is through the arts. You know what I mean? Maybe you connect with youth so much through the arts that is your opportunity to then offer up your mentorship, because, that's where they meet you well. But when you go out and you just casually try to speak to them, maybe it's not as, they're not as receptive. So, I do find that I have quite an advantage by being younger, and also by being just as small as 80% of them. So when they see me, they instantly relate to me. I don't even have to do anything. They look at me like I'm the cartoon character that walks in, dressed up as their favorite cartoon, and it's just pretty much just waiting to see, what I work. But for your average person, what I'd say, is really just finding a way to relate to them, find where they are nowadays. You know what I mean? Where they're spending their time, what it is that they're paying attention to. What are they interested in? Stop forcing down their throats what they need to be interested in, and or I'm big on not existing in the past. Not existing in the past. We exist in the past for what? It happened. It happened. So even when it comes to communicating with them, beyond having them understand their past, having them pretty much just hear this is how this is going to turn out, because you need to do this, or hearing that standard, what they're doing every day. You've got to even innovate your approach at just getting them to listen. And that's why I say it's really about finding ways to relate to them. Definitely give them that space. Give them that space to talk about whatever it is they want to talk about. Slowly come around to their interest, but continue to use your techniques to scratch the surface. Daniel, you have specific ways, I'm sure, that you communicate with each of your individual children. Because that they all are receptive in different ways.
Yes, sir.
But that takes you some time to learn. You couldn't just wake up and figure it all out. So you had to take the time to learn and figure it out. And then, it's also a skill that should be appreciated, at the fact that you're able to decipher between each and every version of, what's received this way, what's received that way. But that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yes, sir. And that all comes down.
I'd say you have to.
Well, I was saying, that all comes down to mindset. And, we get into this place where, as adults, our generation, we look at the young people now and just consider them the lost generation. They just into craziness. They're just not too caring of life anymore. And we want to blame them. But what are we doing? And we just give up on them so easily. And like you said, you have to meet them where they are, and you have to relate a little bit to what they're going through, and figure out different ways how to reach them. And a lot of times, people will say, okay, well, I went to this school, I spoke to the kids, they weren't really paying me no attention, I can't even talk to them no more. Yo, nobody want to hear what you got to say. you got to come and talk to them where they at. And so I hate it. I'll be honest with y'all. Listen, I hate it, but every once in a while I'll go on a little social media stalking spree to look at these freaking rap artists and celebrities that my kids and teenagers and different kids that I mentor are into, and oh gosh, it just really just kills me. But I gotta do it. I gotta listen to this music so I can understand what the heck they're talking about, because I don't want to be that old parent who just don't know anything that's going on with the kids, and you know, they start talking that new age slang, and I'm sitting there all lost, looking all corny. I can't be that guy. I'm still young looking. You know, I got locks and green eyes, so I can relate because of that fact. But you know, it's just a lot, man. It's definitely a lot.
And that's the thing right there. That's your effort, though. That's you putting in your effort right there, where it is you're doing your best, effort for that, trying to relate to them and at least stay ahead, so that way, you know, when the new dialect starts to be developed, you're not behind the curve and, you know, misinformed, and you're not the one that's like stuck not knowing how to communicate with your kids, you know?
Yep. And that's not just my kids, you know, because I mentor youth as well. Just being able to relate to them in general is major, and that's what we need to do more so as adults, as the community, is to take the time to learn what it is that they're learning and understand what's going on in their lives, instead of just trying to force our beliefs and our views on them. Because I mean, it doesn't matter. I even tell this to my own kids, but they're more receptive to listen to someone else than they are to me, because I'm their parent. I don't know nothing about what they're going through. I'm old. I can't relate. Even though I do my best to, I can tell them the same exact thing that you could tell them, but they'll take it from you better than they'll take it from me, simply because it's just the way we are as children. I don't know why we do that, but my mom and my dad, they ain't know nothing about life, but anybody could say the same exact things that they were saying. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, no, it doesn't make sense, but that's how it works. So, you know, with what you do now, you know, photography is one of the main things that you do. I know art is another thing that you do, but you know, you're very community oriented. You know, was this something that you dreamed of doing as a child? Was it just like, yo, I want to grow up and I like art, I like photography, I want to do different things in that nature? Or, you know, if that wasn't it, what did you want to grow up to be?
Only slightly. I actually, the very, very first thing I wanted to be was actually a paleontologist, and that was actually after watching Jurassic Park. Man, that movie was phenomenal. And being a kid, seeing them big dinosaurs, man, and the idea of just going to these other countries and being able to like study these things and study the fossils and all of that, it was very exciting for me. So I definitely knew that I wanted to do something that was going to take me around the world. You know, after that dream, you know, kind of settled a little bit, I started to turn more towards the arts. You know, and I was actually singing at a young age. So I was singing in like my church choir. I was singing at like my elementary school graduation, and that's where I decided that I wanted to get into film, and I wanted to be an actor. And, you know, chasing after the acting dream, I actually always wanted to, you know, be a little bit more structured with what I wanted to actually do with that dream. So I wanted to be like an actor / producer, director. I wanted to be able to write my own films, so that way I could really control the narrative. And that's pretty much what kept me connected to the arts. I went on to spend some time studying at Howard University out in D.C., and I went there for communications. And during my time there, I had actually co-starred in a web series called The New Class. And, you know, once again, just pumping, you know, keeping me connected to the arts. By the time I had, gotten out of Howard after my second year there, when I returned to Philadelphia, it's actually where my brother Dakota and I had actually reconnected. And him and another one of my brothers, Aquil, they were actually attending Hampton University at the same time I was at Howard. And we all just so happened to be photographers. When I had come back home, I just jumped into it. And so the photography is what really linked us. And at that moment, they had just recently formed Artists for Kids, and that's when they pulled me on as the marketing director. And we've just pretty much been rocking out ever since.
That is dope, man. So arts have
the community side. Yeah, the community. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying. So arts have pretty much been a part of your life since a child. You know, with you singing and being involved in everything.
In a very subliminal way.
Mm-hmm.
Right, in a very subliminal way. You know, because I definitely hadn't known that I would go on and be part of running a art nonprofit,